Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are returned to Arlen's Eye, which I think now we can fully scroll through. Nah, up till this point. Hope you all doing well. We are doing pretty good in our Citizen Sleeper journey. I feel like we're making good progress. Last episode we had a decent amount happen. We finished up, at least for now, the Navigator timeline. What is going to happen here when we complete all these? Maybe a little scroll menu or something. And we got a little bit deeper into the Fang timeline. He's promised to remove our tracker pretty soon. We met back up with our failed bounty hunter, who is now down on his luck and is trying to... blackmail is not the word, but he is trying some funny business, to say the least. To try and get us to keep him alive from the club members that the club that he trashed. We also can reroll some of our dice here as well, which is super useful. And I can't remember if it was last episode or not, but we also have this, we're looking for some people across the Greenway. That's probably the other big thing that happened, is we unlocked the ferry. I guess actually we can't go all the way across. The Greenway over here, which has some new drives for us to take care of and some other fun stuff like that, so... We are becoming a sleepy citizen, to say the least. Let's take a look at, what do we got here? Meet Fang in the Greenway. I don't know if we can do that one yet. These two are tied together into the Greenway. A lot over there. Ashton is... We got to search for the mushrooms. Yes, the aviary would be the way for us to get these grill caps for him. Yeah, a lot of stuff we can do. A lot of stuff we can do. Where to start? I don't think at the moment there is much for us to get from hacking. So let's head across the Greenway and see if we can approach any of these interesting things. Alright, 2 growth scores. Wait a minute. Plus grill caps. Ooh. Okay, we're going to use a 6 on this. Actually, probably just use the 5, but that's fine. Alright. That's our first grill caps. Let's do it again. I just really want to get that Emphas drive done. It's been sitting on our menu since we started this game. You know what I mean? It'd be great to at least get another one out of there. I hate having semi-open tasks, both in real life and in video games. Alright, the aviary. Oh, I don't know what much is there. Let's see if we do crack Conway. Let's toggle some tracking. Can we see where... Oh, we have to wait for Fang. Okay, right. Okay. So we can't make progress on these two. We're okay on food... Condition. Yeah, I guess we could eat, but Greenway Cipher. Not exactly sure. So if we do that, the Greenway gate, does that actually show us where we need to go? And this is like the end game stuff all the way down here. Doesn't look like it. No sort of drive there to complete. One of these we start... Oh, yeah, so tracking Ashton. That's probably not a bad one to do. Maybe we'll work on that. I don't really quite know what this one does. I think we did start on one of these. Was it the aviary? I think that's just the one that we opened up. I have a vague feeling that one will get us something. This is just a quick way to get grill caps, farm stacks... Wow. I was stealing the harvest. You can get quite a lot of food for doing that. It's a way to make money. Don't want to get caught as a thief, and that's the way back. Okay, so let's do a little reroll. Oh man, you gotta be careful with that. You misclick that, immediately rerolls it. But all right. So let's see if we can track down Ashton. We'll do the 3 on this. Very nice, and a little bit of money. You notice a spike of activity, a vast transfer of information taking place. What is happening out there? Losing 3 energy would suck. So let's maybe, can we clear this thing out with Yeah, it's a safe action. Okay. Let's do this. Just a 1 and a 2. Very nice. I don't know what this is gonna. Maybe this will just be another place for us to go. But I'm wondering if this is where the Greenway gate maybe is. Truthfully, I have no idea. That was a pretty fast day, all things considered. Let's head on back. I don't think there's much else for us to do. Yeah, we'll have to eat tomorrow, but we should be all right. Maywick is on his way. We do need to disable the tracker before then. My guess is that hopefully the Fang thing finishes up soon. Otherwise, we'll just... All right, we are starving. I'm in flickering, which is not great. All right, let's see. Got some good dice, and then we can reroll the 1. Let's go and get one more cap and finish up this Empis drive that we've been sitting on for, feels like, several hours. Nice. Maybe he'll give us some food if we do this, because we've given him some really nice stuff. What a crazy drive to finish so late in the game. Maybe more people unlock the Greenway sooner than I did, but we do things our own way here. You should feed us, right, for this old recipe, quote-unquote. Look at that. Let's see. We haven't seen you in a long time, bro. He's prepping his food. Come on, man. What the heck? All right. One of these. This one's usually a pretty good one to get. It's safe, too. I'll do this. Let me get some money out of it, too, sometimes. Exactly what we want. 3 energy. 8 cryo, that's nice. Very, very nice. And then let's search for Ashton some more, and then we'll re-roll the 1 and see where that lands us. I'm also wondering if I finish this one up, if we just get like... Oh, I feel like this could be a way off the station as well, right? Very nice. And do we do this? 50% positive, 50% neutral. Nah. Because we can just get that done with a 5 dice next round. Let's clear this out where we're focusing in. I don't think there's much else for us to do, right? This is late game. We don't really care about that. Work for Rabia. Let's... I know we started on this, but let's... Very curious what this distillery thing is. Very, very curious. We could do that, or we could do the Yadigan stuff. Let me see the Yadigan. Yadigan's moving along pretty well. We don't need the energy, though, right now. We'll do that next time. So... let's... see if we can help her out. We only need another 6, kind of a lot. Plus 2. Okay, so 2 more on there. We're getting pretty close to finishing up that drive. And we will wrap this day up. Man, it's nice when you're kind of single focused. I feel like it usually takes us a lot longer to make decisions on these things. Gonna end this cycle. Very good. All right. We will need to eat. We could probably reroll that 1 into something and maybe do the Yadigan stuff today. Let's do this. Let's start with that. Yeah. Nice. Could have been better. And then let us... I want a 5 or a 6. Let's reroll these. That's better. Yeah, that's definitely better. Very good. Cross to the Greenway. Governor. Alright. I don't really have much use for the mushroom place anymore. Fang should be finishing up any day now. Hopefully. If he ever decides to help us, man is the flakiest one of them all. It's interesting how this one... Oh, I guess you just lose a lot of energy. It's all the same. Condition, I guess, is worse than energy, so it's a more difficult thing to do. But let's see what's happened. Sorry, brother. You screwed over this lady who was not really nice to us, but friendly. Maybe that's not in the word. She was... She talked to us and gave us some work, I guess, and then yelled at us, so whatever you want to call that. Anyways, the trailhead extends deep into an overgrown section of the Greenway. At this far end of the ring, where the long, lazy curve of the Greenway becomes the shattered landscape of the wastes, things are oddly quiet. Ahead stands a vast farm stack, broken from its axis by rust or force, and lying amongst the overgrown landscape like an ancient temple. It is stained with stained with moss and algae, flows of green running out from its broken tanks like a frozen, brackish tide. This is where Ashton is hiding, you are pretty sure. All your intuition points to the shadows beneath this collapsed superstructure. You roll a comm headset and Kita gave you in your palm. Yeah, I mean, there's a chance that this guy screwed her, but let's just call her because we've been, like, friends with her the entire time. And I don't want to, like, take a condition hit if he's hiding. You slip the headset into your ear and it fizzes with static. After a few moments, you hear Ankita. Sleeper, have you located the target? A doubt enters your mind. Can you be sure he is there? I mean, do we want to go check? Nah, let's just say yes, come now. Copy. Hold tight until I get there. The static cuts out, the channel dead. You hold your position and watch the trail. Ahead, the stars wheel with the motion of the eye, and your mind wanders. You try to imagine what this place looked like before the collapse. All ordered rows of crops, corporate pleasure gardens, glowing farm stacks. Now it is a wilderness, a strange overgrown biosphere bordered by the void of space. You smile. Despite everything, it seems like an improvement. Sleeper. Ankita's hiss brings you back to your reverie. He in the collapsed stack? I think so. She gives you a look. You better be right. Well, there's no way I'm following that trail. If he's up there, he'll have eyes on that for sure. She glances across the landscape. Let's keep to the undergrowth, work our way around. She heads off towards the central spine of the Greenway, with you following close behind. It is slow going there, where the overgrowth meets the metal wall, but it is so concealed that you can barely see the glass roof high above, and Kita somehow seems to know where to go. Ankita works her way through the dense undergrowth, pushing aside branches and fronds. It is exhausting and you desperately want to rest, but Ankita shows no signs of letting up. How would have we done this without her then, right? Like, if this is all the way over here, I'm glad that we called her, because we might have been screwed if we got this deep into it without her. Up ahead, there is a faint glow from the collapsed stack. Ankita leads you around the side to a broken tank. You both step through the opening, trying to avoid the broken glass that sits among the moss and algae. You work your way up the slanted tank, Ankita setting a deliberate pace. Somewhere water drips, and you swear you hear birdsong. Hanging plants catch the light, coating the place in a pale, sickly green. Ankita reaches the edge of the tank, where it meets the central drum, and holds up a hand for you to stop. You inch forward and look over the edge. The vast drum is like a cistern, with plants growing on all sides, and wet, mossy islands at its base. It is beautiful, and for a moment you can't see anything but tones of green. Then you see the sleeper. Oh no, what have we done? What have we done? In a faint circle of light descending down through the drum, the sleeper lies slumped at an odd angle. They are surrounded by crates, and beside them, on one of the mossy islands, there is an object. A cylinder set on a tarp. It is connected to the sleeper's head. You flinch. Are they one of the others? One of the ones that escaped with you? You squint, trying to recognize them. They are twisted, broken, open, wrong. You look away. Ankita doesn't look at you. She doesn't look at the sleeper. She fixes her eyes on the object. That's Amber's ship mine, she says, and you suddenly recognize the cylinder. Wait. Uh-oh. You turn to Ankita to speak, but she is already gone. She drops off the edge of the tank and lands on one of the mossy islands, her armor letting out a hiss as it absorbs the impact. Why did I take damage? The shot hits her shoulder piece, the ceramic armor cracking but holding as she braces into the impact. She then launches herself forward, the now activated armor launching her across the drum. Another shot goes wide before she reaches the cover of the crates beside the sleeper. Shit. You hear the shout from one of the tanks high on the far wall, and Kita reaches over and wraps a hand around the thick connection between the ship mine and the sleeper. What is she doing? You better come down here or I'll rip this right out of your head, she screams at the wall of tanks. You shiver at the suggestion. I'm just going to stay silent. There's a long pause. All you can hear is the dripping water running down the walls of the drum. Then Ashton calls out. Oh, so he's not a sleeper. He was some dude using a sleeper, which is kind of fucked up. I'm coming down, Nikita. Don't do anything stupid for God's sakes. He appears at the far side of the drum, stepping through the shallow water, rifle raised above his head. Yeah, so he somehow, like, okay, so I feel better now, because this guy definitely, I feel like, would have shot us. And he already murdered a sleeper, it looks like, which isn't cool. And she looks like she knew what she was doing, so trust your instinct, I guess? I don't know, it seems like we kind of did the right thing, or who knows if this would have played out the same way. Drop the gun, and Kita shouts. He throws it down onto the moss. As you lean out to watch, you see him catch your eye, clocking your presence. What are you up to here, Ashton, you sicko? She stands, keeping her sidearm trained on his head. You ripped my ship mine for what, some freakish experiment? Ashton approaches with shaking hands, his eyes now fixed on the connecting bundle of wires that Ankita still has hold of. Steady, Ankita. It isn't like that. I needed the ship mine. You have to understand. They would have died without it. Interesting. What are you talking about? I don't give a shit why you ripped my ship mine and crippled my ship. I should put you down right now. She tightens her grip on the connection. Typical of you, Ankita. No curiosity. Ashton smiles shakily. That's why I never asked for it, for your help. You only look after yourself. He nods at you. That sleeper up there, they are just bait, right? To draw me out? Ankita sucks a breath in. Are you trying to give me more reasons to shoot you? I love them, Ankita. Ashton looks at the crumpled sleeper. I love them, and they were going to die. I knew you would never understand that. He starts closing the gap between himself and Ankita now, slowly inching forward. Don't do that, Ashton, Ankita snarls. Don't do that. Let the wires go, Ankita. Let us go. If you don't get out of my way, he edges closer. Please. I can't let you take it, Ashton, Ankita hardens her stare. You stole it from me. You left me for dead. She shakes her head. You think I'm going to trust you after all of that? I need it, Ankita. I need them to survive. Ashton is in reach of the sleeper now, of Ankita. I'm going to take them now, Ankita. He raises a hand. I'm going to take the ship mine and go. Ankita looses her grip on the connection a little. Her hand is shaking now. Stop, Ashton. She lowers the gun a little. Stop. Seeing her drop her guard, he makes his move. A blur of movement, a struggle, a shot, another. You recoil back behind the edge as they ricochet around the inside of the drum, the sound deafening you. When you crawl back to the edge, Ashton is bleeding into the water, the red and the green. Ankita is standing at the center of the drum, the severed connection in her hand. The water drips endlessly, drip after drip after drip. You force yourself to look at the broken sleeper. There is no sign of life, of humanity. They are just another broken object among other broken objects, while all around, living things grow and thrive. Ankita finally looks back at you, tears in her eyes. She begins to say something that might be sorry, but you are already gone. Well, that was pretty messed up, if I do say so myself. I was not expecting any of that. Kind of a complicated situation, right? Kind of a complicated situation. I don't know who was right there. She wasn't going to help him. He was in love with the robot. The robot is, we are a robot. That is, one of us. He did leave her there to die. It's all kind of messed up every right way. But she really didn't need the ship mine. That was the thing, right? maybe if we would have gone in alone, we could have resolved that a bit better instead of forcing blood, but that's the way they crumble cookies, as they say. All right, let's go talk to Ankita. I have a feeling that we got the bad ending on that one. But I don't know. There's a chance he just may have shot us too, but we're a sleeper. He probably would have appealed to our senses and been like, look, how can you know, this is one of your kind. She was just going to let her die, needed to connect it to the ship mind to save her consciousness or something. And then maybe we could have convinced Ankita that he was gone or something like that. There probably was a peaceful solution to that whole thing, but I don't think we found it. It's a little depressing, but Citizen Sleeper hitting us with these complicated moral decisions. All right, so that's all we can do there. Emphas is cooking, right? I guess we'll maybe try and finish up the distillery thing. See how that goes. Yeah, I don't see anything for her. Emphas got a couple more days on his cooking. Still got nothing from Fang. Really don't need a ship mind for anything else. We've kind of gotten our ship mind tasks completed. Let's run these at the bar. It runs as a 4. Let's try it. I probably should have rerolled that. Okay. And then this should leave us at a 1. Nope. Unlucky. Never lucky. All right. Let's rest up if we can here. And see what tomorrow has to bring. Probably some depression from that terrible thing we just witnessed. Yeah, it seems like even though we are the sleeper, right? We are role-playing as sleeper. It seems like the sleeper we are role-playing as was not too happy to see her kill 2 people at once effectively. But yeah, I don't see any place that we can talk to her. Maybe she just like reappears at some point. Right? I don't see a... Well, she's like up here or something. Maybe. She had like a bar up here. Nope. Weightless Wanderer. Be curious to see. We'll, may want to do this one of these times and see what that leads to. We do need to get food, so we can do that with the Yadigan stuff. Okay, there's Ankita. Ankita is away. Amber is docked here at a rickety old jetty, but she's sealed up. A note says, "Sleeper stay. I'll be ready soon." All right, so 2 more days till we can do her final mission thing. Yeah, seems like we kind of screwed the pooch on that one, but not quite sure. She definitely still cared for Ashton, but he was gonna try and screw her again. I don't know. There's probably an amicable solution. I feel like I didn't assist it at all. We're just a sleeper, you know. We're just trying to make our way. Alright, so let's do patrol the ward. Should give us some maybe money and energy. A little bit of energy. Interesting. As you say your goodbyes to the other enforcers and walk back through the low end, a chirruping catches your attention. In the quiet corridor away from the main thoroughfares, someone has stuck a small recorder to the wall with suit sealant tape. Written across the fluorescent tape is one word: sleeper. You peel it away from the wall, and as you do, it triggers some kind of improvised trip switch. Oh, okay, I thought we were going to get blown up. "Sleeper," Sabine's voice crackles through. "I have seen you with the Yadigan members. Are they holding you captive now too?" A high whine. "I am sorry if I have dragged you into this. Do not trust them. Something is happening within the gang, some kind of power struggle." You cover the speaker a little, their voice too loud in the quiet corridor. "I will come soon. Thanks to your efforts, I have located most of their properties. At the right time," a pause, I will see you soon. Don't give up. Remember our deal. The recording cuts out. You stare at the recorder, processing what you have just heard. Hearing Sabine's voice again opens up something inside of you. An S&ARP employee. Do they know that I know? You struggle with a mix of concern and distrust. You throw the recorder into a nearby waste chute as you leave the corridor, still unsure of who to trust, and head quietly out into the low end. I was not expecting her to show back up, I'll be honest with you. It's interesting that continuing to like get deeper into the Yadigan's ranks increases that. Yeah, this game just surprises you at every turn, man. I'll tell you what. Alright. Let's get this bad boy done. Let's see what this distillery thing is for. Tala comes to help you for a bit and chats to you about her plans for the Overlook. A second pair of hands makes the work go easier. Guessing this is just going to be some sort of stat thing, right? We finished up, like, getting the bar all good. Tala stands up from the newly finished still and tub, hands on hips. Look at this, she grins. The Overlook Distillery in all its glory. She squeezes you around the shoulders. Thank you. I'm going to say what next. There is an issue. What's the problem? Well, Girol the drink, as you probably have guessed, is named after Girol the mushroom. That's what gives it the golden color and earthy taste. The alcohol is infused with the mushrooms, along with a mix of spices. That means you need Girol caps to make Girol, but no one wants to supply us. The distilleries on the Greenway are taking all the stock from the farms out there, so it's hard to get a single cap across Founder's Gap. However, I have an idea. She smiles. We can grow our Girol caps here. She gestures at the increasingly equipment-filled back room. I said I can bring you mushrooms. Tala gives you a pitying look. Where's your vision? Any outside supplier means they take a cut. Okay, maybe not you, but someone somewhere takes a cut. Tala puts his hand on the still. We made a still. We set all this up. How hard can growing mushrooms be? They don't need light. They barely need soil. We can do this. She pauses. Or at least we could if we had something to grow them. Let's see where this is going. She rolls her eyes. Okay, yes, I need a favor. She puts a hand on your shoulder. And you are the perfect person to get me those spores. She nods rapidly. Think about it. You built the still. You are great with plants. You know the eye like the back of your hand. Need I go on? Are you flattering me? If it's working, then yes. She grins sheepishly. Look, I can't leave the bar and the other people picking up shifts. She grimaces. I'm saying it has to be you. Fine. Wonderful. You'll love it over there on the Greenway, I think. All that fresh air, open space. She sees your expression. Okay, I'm done. She turns back to look at the still and the fledgling distillery foaming around it. It really is something, though, isn't it? And once we're not, I really have to agree. Man, we keep getting roped into everybody else's plans and problems here. I'll tell you what. Never ends. Never ends. So what do we got to do? We need spores. Homegrown. Alright, well. I guess we're seeing this one through. Let's head across. We know where to get spores. Grove spores. I'm guessing that's what she wanted. We'll run it on a 5. Perfect. Yeah, that's all we needed. Let's reroll the 1, and we got a 5. Very nice. Alright, nothing we can do there. What do we want to do with the 5? We'll head back across. We have a lot more drives coming up on finished here in the next cycle. Maybe we try and do the top of the spire thing? I'm not sure. Doxy 4. Alright, let's give her these and see what she... I'm guessing we're going to need to bring her multiples, right? As I thought, so she needs 4. They're so cute, says Tala, looking at the container of the spores. Her excitement is infectious. Okay. I guess let's just finish the spores thing. Try and get these cleaned up before we open up a million other problems for us. And start action. So yeah, actually we'll get 2 here. So that's good. So that actually works out. We can clean up this one. I swear, this better be the end. Give us a stat point. Stop making us do a million things. Just end these quest lines. Feels like one more favor from Old school RuneScape. I'm sick of it. Alright. And there you go. One for you. And another one for you. And we have made all of your dreams and wishes come true. First batch. Oh, man. Tal has locked herself away in the back room while she focuses on distilling. She won't let anyone in or out. Okay. So, a lot more. We got a lot of cycles cooking right now. We at least get to see what happens with the Fang one here next time. A lot of coals in the fire, as they say. All right. Emphas. Let's see what's going on, dude. Haven't seen you in a while. Emphas is preparing the Girl Caps. Girl crack. Gosh, that is a... I don't know why that word is... Girl Caps. He has had to heavily adapt this recipe, he says, but the smell is already incredible. It emanates from a strange purplish white bulb you have never seen before. He is slicing it finely. He brushes and slices the mushrooms and then places them in the wok with the sliced bulb and the oil. They caramelize there in that well-worn crucible. He adds liquids, transparent and opaque, and then turns down the heat. A sprinkle of leaves is the final touch. We have a moment, Sleeper, he smiles. Do you have a story? Something in the scent of the food gives you a feeling of nostalgia, something distant and melancholic. It seems like the story should match that somehow, and maybe you will feel better for telling it. Recall your oldest memories. You start by explaining that when you are emulated from a person, many of your memories are left behind. Perhaps it is an intentional part of the process, a way of keeping sleepers ignorant and malleable, or perhaps it is a side effect of the imperfect emulation. You admit that you don't really know. What you do know is that some memories survive, and that on occasion they come back to you, like shadows passing overhead. You detail one recurring memory, which despite returning to you with familiar regularity, with enough regularity for you to think it familiar, always fades as quickly as it arrives. You struggle to explain the feeling of being whole for a moment that comes with this memory, and then how the wholeness slips away to leave you feeling like you have forgotten something important but just can't bring it to mind. Emphas nods throughout, cooking as he does, with deft and skillful movements. You start to trail off when you realize you can't find the words to explain how the memories you do have feel like both yours and someone else's at the same time, and somehow that always fills you with a certain sadness. The sadness of remaining forever unknown, even to yourself. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Sleeper. I think everybody has a little bit of that, regardless if you're a robot implanted with memories or not. Emphas finishes cooking and meets your eye. I'm sorry, Sleeper, for your troubles. He puts the wok to one side. I appreciate you sharing with me, he smiles. I hope it lightens you a little. He passes you a bowl and heaps the girls into it, their yellow color mixing with the pale sauce and whirls and blooms. Eat. The dish is delicious, filling. It warms you as you eat in a way you weren't even sure your body could be warmed. It warms you as you when you couldn't be warmed. It is a small mercy, you think, that SNARP left you this pleasure. Many of the features of frames are there to simulate human experience. You know that much. Emulated minds cannot be rewired, so their need for embodied experience must be met. That is why you breathe, even when you do not need air. Without the simulation, the sensation of drowning would be unbearable. Food serves another purpose. Your frame is able to metabolize it to produce energy from the raw material. Vitamins and minerals are excess, of course. Your frame only needs raw power. So much is wasted. And yet, while you eat this food and feel that warmth, nothing feels wasted. It all means something to you. As you finish, Emphas takes the bowl, the last of his cleaning. He smiles at you. Neither of you feel the need to say anything more. Instead, you simply exchange nods and walk your separate ways back into the bright market, somehow changed. Alright, did we do it? Did we finish up, Oh god, we have to bring him more mushrooms? Come on, man! Emphas mentioned an old recipe for matsutake broth. All he needs are two handfuls of matsutake caps, freshly sourced. Man, he is the mushroom harvester. At least he's making them for us, right? We are bringing him hard to find. It's not like he's just taking them and using them for his own devices. He is. We're getting to eat, and we did get our energy refilled there, so that was good. Alright, Fang. You're back in your old outfit. Look at that. When you enter the service dock, Fang is already set up, crouched among stacks of equipment. He is leaning over a terminal, bathed in a blue glow. He looks totally at home. Sleeper, what do you think? Turns out not everyone at Haven Age is set against me. A couple of my old systems pals managed to ship me some of my old gear. He gestures at the blinking hardware. The mess is here. Fang laughs. Don't question the process, Sleeper. What are we looking at? One massive smoking gun. He raises his eyebrows. Fang beckons you over. He has a set of scans on the wastes on his terminal, with heat maps of activity overlaid. A chunk of the derelict rim is blotchy with bright red and orange marks. Does this look like a wasteland to you? Fang shakes his head. There's hundreds of Conway machines out there all lined up in concealed hangars, and a whole underground facility to support them. Hardin has got a crew out there putting them together. They must have shipped them in piece by piece through the shipyard, ready for assembly out here. Why? They're planning something. No one needs hundreds of heavy-duty reclamation drones to run this kind of operation. Maybe Hardin masked this whole thing as an effort to clean up the wastes, but there's no way this is about pulling scrap off the eye. Fang looks worried. Why is Conway in the mix? I bet no one in Haven Age knows another corporation is setting up on the station. They aren't stupid either. These scans are the best info I could get. The wastes are cut off from the eye's cloud of networks, and the Greenway is a total dark zone. No data can come in or out. Can't hack them? We can't from here. He turns and winks. That's why I'm going to pay him a visit. I'm going to say how. You forget, Haven Age come in and out of their all cycle. I should be able to get in. As long as no one I know sees me. He grimaces playfully. But I need you on the outside to help disable security systems and cut me a pathway through. There's no cloud access, but if I can get inside, I can open up nodes in their network and we can work in tandem. It's a massive facility buried down there, miles of corridor and ventways wrapped around cargo bays and hangars, so it'll take more than a few cycles to work through. But as long as you can keep them off my back, I know I can rip when we need out of there. He pulls a handful of... here we go, back to hacking. He pulls a handful of ripper worms from his pocket and hands them to you. These are the last of my little helpers I managed to salvage, so make them count. I modified them slightly. This time they'll feed their data threads back into the system that they are tunneling into, creating a nasty little feedback loop. We run it just like we did with the agents. Hack the nodes I ping to locate the ports for the security system, then slot the worms into the systems, and let them go to town. He points to a fuzzy silhouette of the buried facility on the terminal. Here's the entryway. This is where you can get access and slot the first worm. That'll fry their perimeter systems and help me get past the first cordon. What I need from you is to keep your eyes on the facility after you kick things off. You see me pop up a security system, a server bank, you need to break in and slot a ripper to disable it as soon as you can. And if I can't. Fang gives you a hard look. You miss the system, you wait too long, they're going to find me. As simple as that. He clasps you on the shoulder. I need you focused on this one, so I'm going to let you fire the starting gun. I won't go until you slot that first worm. Ugh. Alright. I'll leave a tracker running on the terminal here, so come back if you want to see my progress. He affectionately pats the top of the screen. Got it. Don't worry. You can run rings around their protocols. I've seen it. Fang gets up. It's all in place. You just need to make your own preparations and slot that worm. He stretches. Just don't wait too long. I'm getting bored of all this sneaking around. Once I'm inside, I'll get the proof we need to end this whole thing, no matter what. He crouches to check the terminal. We can't take longer than 6 cycles on this thing. Remember that. He stands up. Oh, and one last thing. He lowers his voice. If I get caught, or you can't reach me, or we run out of time, there's one thing I need you to do. What? You take whatever I have managed to pull at that point, all that data, and you slot that stuff straight into the relay I've set up here. He points to a pile of servers and terminals, hooked into the dock with cables as thick as your arm. I repurposed the dock's SOS broadcast system to beam out whatever you put into it. Anyone with a terminal, a slate, or a server on the eye will see it. That means Haven Age, Yadigan, the hub, everyone. No matter what, Hardin isn't snaking away this time. He grins. I've got a bit more to do here, but the moment you slot the first worm, I'll make my move. He gives you a parting smile and turns back to the terminal. The nerves hit as you make your way out of the service dock. Time to prepare yourself. Alright, well, that was pretty intense. Maybe he was right. Maybe this guy is... Maybe Fang isn't crazy. Maybe they actually are planning like a hostile takeover. down in these, like, the wastes over here to do something. That would be kind of crazy, right? That would be kind of crazy. All right, well, I say screw it. We have to... Oh, that's interesting. Oh, here's the Greenway gate. Man, what the heck? The entire Greenway is locked down, shrouded in a dark cloud of shifting currents. What is happening here? Didn't realize it was in the ether nodes. What do you want to call these things? The Greenway roils beneath you like a silt-choked river. So this is the cloud and the data ghost of the eye. If what Navigator said was true, then no one has accessed these networks since the collapse. The Hunter and Killer protocols have never set foot here, never cleared out the intelligences in the systems. So why, you wonder, does it look so dark? Is it just the bit rot that has set in? The entropy of systems reducing everything to shadows and light? You watch as the slotted cipher fizzles in one open, distorted gateway on this entire rim of the station. It flickers and winks out, and then you are falling into the flow. A river of swirling darkness. You are spun by it, twisted by it, lost in it, molded by it. It's not that the Greenway was hiding in the darkness. It is made of darkness. It is filled by this substance, this process, the swarm. Now you are among it. You notice that a swarm is exactly what it is. A billion individuals moving in a flow. There is no network map here, no nodes and threads, only a storm of interchangeable points, shifting configuration endlessly. Then you see them, a figure, turned away, the only bright spot in the dark river. You push closer through the storm. Oh, here's the gardener, look at that. Ingrown farm administrator. They are facing away, at least you think so. They are so fractured, so overgrown that it is hard to tell. Even from this distance, you can see their flesh is moving, flowing. You watch, silent, as they stoop and reach down. In their hand is a dark shape. With twisted fingers, they press it down into the loam of data beneath them, pushing it through this trembling soil. Then they move away, go a little further, and repeat the process, as if they were sowing a field. You push forward, but somehow, despite their slow and deliberate speed, they move faster. They quickly fade into the storm. You reach the point where they planted the object and look down. There it is, a glassy, shifting polygon with something inside. You reach down and pick it up. It is cold, but it thrums with energy. You look towards the path of the figure, but they are long gone. When you blink out of the cloud, back to the leaves and dappled light of the Greenway, you hold a seed in your hand. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Conway access. What do we do with this seed? Find a nurturing grow bed for the seed. What does that even mean? Let's toggle this before we kick off, anything too crazy? Let's head back across. I'm curious if we need to do, like, clearing out one of those areas like we were planning to do. If, like, maybe doing that, we'll find a zone that will allow us to plant it, although it would be a little odd. Otherwise, I don't see anything. Yadigan agents, Haven Age agent, nothing else for us to hack. Oh, I can use WASD. Today I learned. Did not realize I could use the keyboard just instead of scrolling like a madman. Maybe something up here. Guess not. Okay. Alright, well. What to do? Let's kick off this Fang thing. I just want to get this done. Because I really want to get this thing out of the sleeper's head, if you know what I'm saying. Alright. Alright, one more minute on Anik, or one more cycle on Ankita. And I guess let's see what happens. Since we only have 6 cycles, so I want to get this done sooner than later before the Maywire, Mayfly guy comes in and ruins our world. Liz, you'll need to be ready to give this all your attention. Whatever. Unless this ends up like triggering the end of the game, that would suck. Alright, the worm tunnels in and starts looping data through the node. The Conway facility opens up to you. Godspeed, Fang. Alright, the cloud. As you slot the worm, a thread jumps out of the facility. It unspools in front of you, releasing its data like ink and water. Sleeper. Fang's voice crackles through. Moving in. Nodes, then ports. A war of interference. Slot the worms. Timer starts now. Stay safe. The thread dissipates. You are on your own now. Now I think about it, these probably... This is interesting. I forgot that these require specific... We only have 6 cycles to do it. Well, 2 or 3. Let's see. Let's do this. We only need 1 of them. Screw it. Alright, we got 3. We kind of need to... It sounded like we really do need to get this done, like, immediately. This node is linked to the outer security layer. Fang must be struggling to get through. Alright. Number 2. Another Ripper Worm. The first layer of security, a ring of doors around the central facility. Time to open them up. Start working. Fang's progress, layer unlocked, security layer F disabled. The Ripper Worm creates its feedback loop, overloading the security system. Alright, got these guys. Perfect. Both the S layer nodes need to be extracted before the port will open. Is there time? Alright, a little bit of money. Take that. A little bit of money while we're doing the dirty. Very nice. Any chance this takes a 5? Oh, it does. Very nice. That was a really good reroll, unsuspectingly. The inner S-layer security is more complex. One access point won't be enough to locate the port. Very nice. Extract the data. Looks like our hacking skills are paying off. Yeah, we're just going to keep going, man, right? Because as much as we can get done as quickly as possible. The second layer controls the Conway drones tasked with patrolling the hangars. The Ripper Worm fries the drone's network link. Now they can't report anything. Very good. Oof. What do we got here? A 6 or a 5. This node is buried deep in the wastes. This has to be the final security layer. Hold on, Fang. Alright, well, we're just going to go all in because we're healed, or we're full energy anyways, and we kind of have to dedicate all this as we can. So we'll leave that there. We'll get to see what happens with the Inkita after this. Let's cross back to the rim. What is this? Gardener's Seed. I still have no idea what to do with that. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. We just need Fang to survive so that he can get our tracker out. And I guess, you know, if they were going to do like a hostile takeover of the station and we do end up staying here, that would be bad. Okay, we do need stabilizer. Now, alright. Let's do... I think these are cheaper now, right? 80? Oof, we're at 81. Was there another way for us to get stabilized? I don't think so. Let's go see how this Ankita story finishes up. I'm assuming this is the end of it after she killed her previously close friend, right? You spawn Ankita on the track to the farm stack. She has a box on her shoulder and is working her way down the slope. She sees you as she approaches. Neither of you speak for a moment. She looks tired, pale. Her hair is tangled and clumps of dirt cling to her armor. You both eye each other. Ankita. She holds up a hand. Sleeper. She takes a deep breath. I'm sorry for what happened. Truly I am. She looks down. I'm sorry you ended up in the middle of this when all you have shown me is kindness. She rubs her face. I'm sorry. I'm going to just stay silent. For that sleeper that... She stares at the floor. I'm sorry. She looks up and away, not meeting your eye. What do we say to her? I don't know. It's tough. What you did is unforgivable. It's okay. I mean, she does look pretty sad. I imagine that this is the last time we will interact with her. Do we want to... She does not seem like a very nice person, all things considered. I don't know. I think we've been playing it like on her side this entire time, so we'll just say it's okay. Because if we do, I don't know. I feel like we may not get anything. I don't know. We're just going to say it's okay. I feel like rubbing it in is not going to help. And we're probably not going to see her again. At least that's how I'm rationalizing it. She nods and looks up to the stars. She stops herself. Thank you. And Kita shifts the weight of the box on her shoulder. I've been preparing for... She grimaces. Look. She sighs. Can you come with me? It's easier if... If what? You see it. She finishes. It's just down the way. Guess she's making like some sort of grave for these guys. And Kita leads on down the dirt path between the pillars. There is a wind passing through the Greenway, a quirk of air currents the biosphere maintains, and it ruffles the leaves softly. The sound makes the silence more obvious, more complete. You try not to think of the last time you were here. You have been trying not to think of it for the past few cycles. The image of the sleeper, sprawled, twisted open, connected to the ship mind, has been hard to forget. You realize Kita is leading you back there, backed into the drum at the center of the stack. You pause, trembling a little, at the threshold. She turns. What are you doing? She looks at you with empty eyes. What needs to be done? You stand on the threshold and look up at the tanks, green and wet, some glowing with flickering grow lamps. You look down at Kita, suddenly so small under this hulking ruin, the smallest she has ever looked. She places the box down. Well, we're already down here. Might as well see what's going on. You follow Kita into the stack through a low tank, entering the drum at ground level. It is just as beautiful as you remember, but it barely touches you. Instead, you check the apertures of the tanks for a glint of a weapon or a shadow among the moss. And Kita stops and you look down. The mossy island at the center of the tank is clear now, the equipment cleared away. In its place is a mound of dirt, loosely covered with moss. Ashton's rifle stands straight, half buried in the dirt at the grave's head. I buried them together, and Kita says without turning. You stand there in silence for a little while. You think of the questions you could ask about Ashton, the sleeper. Ask how long she knew him. She takes a moment to respond, and for a moment you think she won't, but then the words come gushing out. He signed on a while ago. He used to run recon for a corporate outfit, but he got sick of the pay. He joined the crew as a sniper, and the first few jobs were a breeze. He was so cold, disconnected. He always hit his marks. The last few jobs, though, he was different. I noticed that. We'd had a period of extended shore leave on the eye when he came back and he was changed. I assume he just had too much time off. He was right. I never would have given him the ship mind. I wouldn't have believed him. I've had crew members double-cross me, undercut me, rat me out. That's the business. He wasn't a good person. None of us in this job are. This is how we die. Alone. She stops, not sure of what to add. Seems like she is reaching for something, but she can't quite get there. You feel the gap widen between you, and as you do it, or you feel the gap between you, and as you do it widens. The water drips. The moss trembles. You both stand in silence for a while longer. You both feel it. Life creeping back in, the silence ending, Ankita shifts her weight and then starts to walk out. You follow her, suddenly eager to be back out in the open space of the Greenway, to be away from this place forever. You stand outside and breathe the fresh air, and you stare at the green leaves and the stars wheeling above them. That's it, says Ankita from somewhere behind you. You try to think of something to say but can't. Ankita puts a hand on your shoulder. You turn back to her. She forces a handful of cryo chits into your hands. It's what I owe. She looks at you desperately. You look down at the metal bars. Ugly little things, you think. Do we take... I mean, I do actually want to take the money because we need it. But dropping the chits is like the nice thing to do, right? And if we drop the chits, I can pick them up after she leaves. Why don't we just drop the chits? We'll continue to play this nice. You open your hand and let the chits fall to the floor. They clunk into the dark and she does not pick them up. You turn without saying a word and continue up the track. She does not follow. Oh, maybe that was the wrong thing to do. I thought that was like... Oh, man, I screwed that up. As you walk up the rise, the wind picks up and the leaves shudder. You walk faster, trying to outpace your anger. You think of those ugly metal bars in the dirt. Life has to be worth more than that. It has to be. Well, the bad end. Oh, God. Why did all crew at the end of the rim? Oh, Lord. Oh, that sucks. I did not mean... I thought that was the good thing. Oh, well. That sucks. I thought it was like drop the chits, you know. Man, so we got the bad end and we didn't get any money on it. What am I doing, man? I don't know how to play this game. That was definitely the bad end. Holy cow. Well, we screwed the pooch on that one. There's no doubt about that there. I think we did everything we possibly could have done wrong. That's terrible. Oh, man. We should at least have taken the money. We definitely should have taken the money. I thought that was trying... I thought we were trying to reconcile it. Oh, well. Okay, let's see. We're going to save up 2 points. I guess we have to anyways to get the next thing. Man, I'm bummed. We at least should have taken the money. That totally would have been good. Because then I could have gotten... Because we need to get this thing here. All right, let's see. I think we can use one of these. We gotta do something right on this game. Consex 3, a 6, and a 4. All right, got a 5. We'll extract the data. And let's... What do we need? Well... We're going to reroll these anyways. 4. Sure. At least we're getting money out of doing this, which is nice. Alright, the 3 nodes to locate the final port, then Fang will be in. Not much time left. Gonna leave. And slot the final Ripper Worm. This final layer controls surveillance. With this down, Fang should be able to control the facility's cameras. Alright. All layers unlocked. Security layer X disabled. The Ripper Worm chooses the camera control. The moment it does, a thread starts shooting from the facility. Ooh, is that the end of it? A thread from the facility cuts through the cloud like a hairline crack of light. That's it. The final layer of security broken. Somewhere, buried in the depths of the station, Fang is in control. He is slicing into the camera control circuits and piping out the result. The thread flickers and unravels into an image, a scene, 2 figures in a room, one sat, the other pacing. The pacing figure resolves into Harden, the unmistakable superior posture, the shock of gray hair. The second figure's features don't seem to resolve. They are vague, unformed, a problem with the data perhaps. You look closer. Then you see it. The figure is a proxy. Perhaps you should have expected it from Conway, a corporation whose very existence is owed to an automation. Okay. The proxy is a machine designed to be piloted by a remote connection. Someone else in the system puppeteering it with their own body, speaking so it may speak. The proxy sits impassively, or the Conway executive that is piloting them does, from the distant safety of some ship or orbital colony, perhaps. We can move forward, there is no doubt, Hardin is saying. The reclamation teams are almost ready, and after that I'll make the declaration. Nothing has to change. The proxy leans forward, its movements stilted, uneven, as if its body were being refracted through water. But things must change, Hardin. We need further assurances. I have been informed of a breach in one of the closed networks in the low end. You have been careless. Hardin waves the accusation away. We have been stretched. A breach was detected, yes, but no data of value was lost. Our board is concerned, Hardin. A drop in our value would be unwelcome at this time. The proxy leans back, its posture dominant. If the reclamation of AE-1 is contested, we could be drawn into a compromising legal position. Hardin approaches the proxy. There will be no contest. Not from Solheim, who cannot muster a defense. Not from Haven Age, who will fall into line below me. He crouches in front of the seated figure, eye to eye. The people of the station, refugees, gangs, spacers, all either opportunists or degenerates. Haven Age is no longer strong, no longer united. No one here believes in Arlen's vision, nor has the strength to enact it. Well, it's seeming like Fang was actually right about this guy all along. I sat across from him at the negotiating table. He was forceful, eager, weakened by his ideological convictions perhaps, but a great man nonetheless. This place no longer deserves to bear his name. The eye is crippled, it cannot survive. It is a ruin filled with squatters and outlaws. They will be lucky if it still spins in 100 cycles. Hardin stands. You will move forward with the reclamation, because otherwise you will lose your advantage in the system. Without your advantage, you will lose claims on the remaining palladium. Without the palladium, your factories will go dark. He pauses. Do I need to continue? One moment. Comes a response from the proxy, and its head drops to its chest. Hardin steps back and paces once more, awaiting the discussion taking place elsewhere in the system. You watch Hardin as he paces, as he considers his future. What goes on within a mind like that, in the mind of a man who would burn all those around him for a path to some golden end? The proxy lifts its head. We are happy to proceed. We will legally claim the station formerly known as Solheim AE-1 as salvage within 6 cycles. Haven Age is to assist with the transport of illegal residents to Conway housing and labor facilities. Dang, so we really did save the station. This would have ended really bad very quickly if we wouldn't have done this. The proxy judders to its feet. Conway will also claim 70% of the raw output of the reclamation process, after losses have been accounted for. Harlan nods. I accept. The proxy reaches out to shake his hand like a marionette, and the recording loops. You watch it a second time, gripped by a horrified fascination. There is a bluntness to the conversation, to its blatant disregard for humans as anything other than objects. Things to be moved, to be used, to be fed into structures, crushed, and losses accounted for in the cells of the tables, the margins of ledgers. You realize now that you are no different than anyone else on the station in the eyes of the people in that room, and those like them. Each body here can be recast as a piece of property, a tool, an expense, an acceptable loss. In one moment they can be named a citizen, celebrated, protected, and in another, the very idea of citizenship can be used against them. This is what it means to live in proximity to a system like this. No longer, not while the ice spins. You gather the recording, pack it into a polygon of the purest light. Then you drift down into the service dock like a falling leaf and find the relay. It only takes a second to place that polygon of data, the recording, into the relay system Fang prepared. Then you watch as it bursts out, a web of threads, heading out into the black, to every network device on the eye. Let them see what power makes of a man. Ooh. Alright, crack the toughest security system on the eye. Alright, well, we ruined it. Accidentally killed somebody. Made a somewhat hard woman very sad, but we also saved everybody's lives on the station, so maybe we're 50-50? Maybe? I don't know. To repair condition. Hold on. Use scrap components. How many scrap components do we have? We have 3 scrap components. Is this worth better? Because I was going to do this just to get the money off, but Sure, let's do that. Because then we don't have to waste our money on repairing ourselves over and over. Or on stabilizer. We can just buy, hopefully. Let's see how much condition this gets for us. So I guess we go home and self-repair. Let's see how much that gives us. 1. Yeah, sure. We don't really have a use for them otherwise, and we know where we can get them. 2. 3. Alright, that buys us 3 days at 4 dice, so we can hold on to our money for them, which is pretty nice. Alright, and I think we can do the Yadigan one, maybe? We might lose energy. Did we already reroll this? I forget. Oops. Yeah, we already rerolled. Yeah, why not? Minus energy, plus 1 Yadigan Insider. What are you gonna do? Whew. That was, what a day. We're gonna end the cycle there. That was crazy. Yeah, I wish we would have done the Ankita mission. I feel like we did everything wrong possible there, but when you play games blind like this, you sometimes mess up. That's the reality of it. But that kind of makes it a little bit better too, you know? It's very organic in that way. With that, y'all, I think we're going to call the episode here. An exciting one, to say the least. And we made some really good progress on a lot of different things. So now we just have to wait for Feng to return. We should be able to get our tracker turned off, and who knows? Maybe we're coming to the end of this playthrough here. I'm not quite sure. I have no idea how long this game runs or the things that we can accomplish in it. But I do know it's been a ride nonetheless. As always, if you enjoyed today's content, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, interacting, all that fun stuff with the video helps the algorithm, and I appreciate it as well. Until next time, y'all, it's been a little bit of Citizen Sleeper. I'll see you then.